Hello everyone. Symbiosis Center for Information Technology welcomes you to the 6th episode of On Air with Adcom. Today we have with us Mr. Shyam Sundar Ramaswami, who is a senior research scientist at the Research and Efficacy team at Cisco, a two-time TEDx speaker and co-author of a book titled Are You Safe? It's a Digital Life. Hello sir, how are you doing today?
Thank you, Preetham, for the introduction, and it gives me immense pleasure to be part of SCIT's podcast, and thank you for inviting me. I'm good. I hope all of you are also doing good here.
Thank you sir, we all are doing good, and we are glad to have you for the first episode of this season. So let me kickstart this episode by asking you, how has your experience been so far in the field of cybersecurity, and what is it that really interests you in this field?
Cybersecurity is an amazing field to start with. So it's not like you just jumped into cybersecurity right away. I've been in this industry for close to 13 years, and it took at least 5 to 6 years for me to find my place in the sun, to be honest. And I actually accidentally stumbled across cybersecurity. I never had plans to get into it. I never had a goal to get into it. But one of my friends actually referred me to saying, this dude, there's something called this certified ethical hacker. Do you want to do it? Now, that's how my cybersecurity journey began. When I finished the exam, I kind of got really good scores. I went through the course and I started, digging through the whole process. There's so much to learn. There was so many streams in it. And it's been an amazing. Then there was no looking back after that. It's been a good, I assume, 8.5 years into this field. I've explored so many paths, and it's just truly amazing. And what's with cybersecurity in total is you will have to update yourself every week at least, or keep learning, because it's a race between the cyber criminals and the investigators like us, because they are extremely clever, extremely knowledgeable, and this internet is a very fair place where it gives resources for all. So you read the same resources and so do they. So that's a very great thing, according to me, where you keep learning, you keep updating your stuff. And I'm into this field of forensics, especially in cybersecurity, which keeps changing every now and then. To be honest, I built something which actually detects, office-based documents, your business email compromise phishing stuff, right? You get attachments in email. It kind of solved a lot of stuff, but the attackers have changed the tricks in a matter of 6 days. I had to, revisit my skills, and then I had to find an alternate for it. So that's the only worry at times, but it's not a worry, to be honest, but you are pushed to a place where you have to learn, and I just enjoy learning these things, and that's a very rewarding experience in cybersecurity. You get to learn, you have to learn, and you keep learning, and I love the stuff that I do. And so far it's been great, and happy to see myself, like 8 years back, a rookie, to a co-author for a book today which is related to cybersecurity. It's been a phenomenal journey, and I've also started to work on my second book. So it's rewarding when you keep giving it back to the community. When you talk to students, you also get back what you deserve. So that's my experience with cybersecurity so far.
That must have definitely been a wonderful experience, sir. Now, coming to the next question, how will studying forensics help a student for the future in information security and cybersecurity?
Forensics is an art by itself. Forensics can be divided into 3 types: computer forensics, memory forensics, and malware forensics. So students who opt for any of these fields would be placed in these apt places. For example, if you take malware forensics, you'll be dissecting malware, understanding the behavior of the malware, and that will be published across blog posts or signatures for antivirus softwares. That's why you identify the moment a malware comes, your antivirus is able to identify. Now, memory forensics is a next level, to be honest, where you will investigate the memory of a computer, pass through the memory, And this field is developed so much that you have a lot of frameworks. You don't have to manually do it. And finally, is the final portion of this is the computer forensics, where it's really useful for when it comes to someone denying that they have not done something or storing something that they have told that they have not done it. You can do a full computer forensics to find out and recover deleted evidences for a case or for anything of that sort. That helps you to work with the police. And yeah, so these three fields are rewarding in their own manner. And studying forensics will really help students to get into these tracks. And I also know that forensics is being taught in CIT. So yeah, that's the reason that you study forensics. It really helps you in the future.
Definitely, sir. Students listening to this must have surely taken some notes. Now, moving ahead, in SCIT, students are taught subjects like information risk management, database security, and various frameworks related to cybersecurity. So, how do you think studying these subjects will help in the domain of forensics?
So that's a good question. See, forensics by itself is like a domain of investigation, and risk management as a subject and database security as a subject is really, really important things. Two things, because when a company is hit by a cyber attack, you should know something like information risk management, which helps you to prioritize your assets. Which is the highest asset that is being infected or destroyed? How would you retrieve it? There's something called as usually when we say in software terms, something called as service level agreement. The time that is taken to retrieve a service so that the customers can use it. So that's very, very important. Marking your assets, what is the expensive ones, what are the priority ones, the money or cash ringing register ones. So you have to prioritize. This is a huge field. It's getting a lot of popularity, and a lot of startups in India have opted information risk management. They're giving it as a service also. Database security, you all should be knowing that data is everything today, right? So in that sense, you need to know how to save your data, patch your data so that hackers don't get into these things. Forensics on the whole, it helps you because when you investigate, if you know these things, information risk management and database security, you will know where to look for and the right places to investigate. So you don't waste time investigating, looking all over. So that's how all these are related. Forensics can be a separate domain by itself. Information risk management and database security can be a separate domain which you can specialize and work. So studying these subjects are definitely rewarding for you.
Indeed, sir, that was very insightful. For the next question, I would like to ask you, how do you think the field of security will look in the coming years?
So we usually use a term called threat landscape. So the more the users, the more the products, the more the threat increases. But with so many people, reading and taking up cybersecurity as careers, cybersecurity is going to evolve tremendously, and it's going to be a big, big, big field, and it's got a big market. Now, the more the advancement in the technology, the more the bad guys are there in the internet to do things. The more you need, forensic investigators and cybersecurity investigators to solve these problems. So it grows technically exponentially, to be honest. Yeah, we have a very bright future, and we need a lot of young people like you to join us to fight cybercrime. So yeah, it looks really bright for me. So
True, sir. The future of cybersecurity definitely looks very bright. Now, coming to the last question of this episode, what advice would you give to the students aspiring to make a career in cybersecurity?
that's a very good question. According to me, right, I'll be very honest with you. The career in cybersecurity is all about hands-on. So all the students, just note this point pretty carefully. There are so many fields in information security or in computer field of computers, any other field, right? It's about reading and gaining the knowledge. But when it comes to cybersecurity or forensics, it's purely hands-on. The reason is you're always hands-on in this field because you have to solve an attack, decode an attack, retrieve information. Reading books will not alone only will never help you in this. You will have to implement it. You have to read books, practice this every day, practice this techniques. It's like a warrior going to war, which is where a warrior cannot read how to become a warrior in 30 days. You have to practice, right? Hands-on skills. So it's definitely like a war. You have to build a strategy. You will have to build a style for yourself, because a problem can be solved in many ways. And when you do hands-on, you will be able to do a lot of. You will find a technique on your own, and that will be your master stroke. So practice hands-on. There are a lot of resources. You can even reach out to me. There are a lot of resources on the internet. Practice hands-on. That what will get you or make you the best cybersecurity investigator in the industry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining with us today. The experiences and knowledge that you have shared with us will be valuable for all the people listening to us. Thank you everyone for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode of On Air with Adcom.